Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and last night Ripple sent out this tweet about the proper party. And for those of you that don't know, proper party is a reference to when Brad Garlinghouse was at XRP Las Vegas. He said when this was all over that they would have a proper party, and that is what they're doing. And you can go to theproperparty929.com. Wouldn't it be funny if they had said 589, but they did not. Here is the Proper Party website. Come celebrate. Join the community at New York's iconic Hammerstein Ballroom on Friday, September 29th for fun and festivities, including must-see A-list performances. Performances with an S. That means there's more than one A-list performance going to be happening. And let me go ahead, because everybody's wondering what the A-list performance. I'm going to just throw out a couple that I think would be good. How about Coldplay? That'd be a good one, right? Now, they had Snoop Dogg at their XRP community night back in May 2018, and I always was sick that I missed that one, but I had just started my channel, so I didn't really expect it. But Snoop Dogg, that's one of those that's been on my bucket list, is if I could hang out with Snoop Dogg just one night. I always thought that would be cool. I always felt like it was my destiny to hang with Snoop Dogg just for one night. So, anyway, Coldplay and Snoop Dogg, I think that'd be a good combo. Now check this out. Napa's, this was what I went to. This was the Link to Investor conference out in Napa. That's Joe Endoso. I'll just show you part of that. That was Yassine Mubarak right there. If you've never been to Napa, it's like
my name is Joe Endoso. I'm president at Link 2, and we're here at the Senza Hotel.
These guys right here, and if you're listening to me, I'm waiting for you to send me an email. I was literally sitting down and I was talking to the Polysign CEO, Jack McDonald, and this guy right here, these are Australian guys. These were some of the smartest guys I met at that conference. And this guy right here showed me some awesome pictures he had taken when I was talking to Jack McDonald, and he was going to send them to me. He never sent them to me. But these guys were so nice and so smart, made me want to go to Australia. I'm sitting at the end of this table right here, actually, but they miss me right
seminar
there. Then I'm standing right there talking to these guys. All of these people were so nice, just such quality, nice people, and had a great time. It made me even more bullish on Ripple and XRP. All those people were into Ripple and XRP and the whole thing. Now, Rob Cunningham was in that room. He was one of the people in the room, and he's doing his he did a show with this Jim Willie guy last night or yesterday or maybe the day before. Anyway, this is an interesting clip right here. Listen to this.
I have been making an argument that the Fed is going to become the bad bank to soak up the treasury bonds that everybody is selling. The Department of Treasury and the U.S. government is obligated to buy it back from sellers because we issued it. They're going to put it on the Fed balance sheet, and there's a back door to a gigantic multi-trillion-dollar fund that I don't want to talk about.
What?
That got Rob Kirby murdered.
What?
Let's just think of it as the bag man behind the Fed, okay? The bag man with a G as in not good. Bag man behind the Fed is going to soak them up. Okay. The other factor that's going to drive up the dollar is that the Saudis and UAE and Iran and Qatar and what's another one? Kuwait, they all are going to the yuan. The petro yuan is now the standard, and that means OPEC will go to the yuan, the Chinese yuan. And just keep in mind, Indonesia, Nigeria, and Venezuela, they're not Arab countries. They're all going to go to the yuan. And that means...
Folks, when you hear that, if you're an American, you think about your standard of living. Whatever you do right now, get out of debt. Whatever you do right now, especially if you're in any kind of high interest debt, because what's being described would cause interest rates to skyrocket, thus murdering your standard of living. Please get out of debt. And then you can do what I'm doing, which is buy gold and other things.
Do you have any thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on the BRICS pay? The BRICS pay.
Let me finish my point. I'm really trying to finish this so we can get on to other things.
Okay.
They're going to liquidate the petrodollar derivatives.
Okay.
Think of it as 150 or 200 trillion dollars worth of derivatives. They must be liquidated. And they need dollars to liquidate it, so it's going to push the dollar up even more than what the central banks are pushing up the dollar. It's going to be a gigantic supernova, and it's going to wreck a lot of things. Now, I mentioned that I'm all over since May the dumping of the treasury bonds and the buying of gold. It's gold depositories for the usage of the BRICS gold token. Now, a year from now, we're going to have a very strange debate in the United States. Are we going to join the BRICS, or are we going to become an isolated rogue nation that becomes very quickly third world?
Oh.
That's going to be the debate in 12 months.
It's going to be pretty easy to see.
I don't like to boast, but my marketing research with Digital Equipment Corp taught me to look to the next chapter.
All right. Now watch this. Look at this. This is from Gold Telegraph. Saudi Arabia's oil exports to the United States have reached their lowest levels in 6 years. Oil is back above $85. Saudi Arabia Aramco is considering selling $50 billion in shares. Kingdom has reduced its holdings of U.S. Treasuries to a 6-year low. Getting interesting. And then he says, then on Gold Telegraph, they say this: the Bank of England's chief economist warning that policymakers worldwide have become addicted to cheap money. The Bank of England is facing major losses on its bond purchase. We have finally reached the eureka moment. That's a thumbnail. Eureka moment. All right. Okay. Hollywood policymakers are debt addicts. Hollywood ending. And then we have this from eGrag Crypto today. He did a gold chart. Gold to 3K. The resemblances in price fluctuations are unmistakable. Should gold ever revisit 2,000 to 2,100 range, prepare for a meteoric ascent. Bear in mind, gold acts as your safeguard, not a pathway to 10 times or 100 times profits. Yeah, it's like a hedge against them destroying our money, which is why I just got Miles Franklin as my physical gold source and sponsor. They sell 1 ounce gold bars too. So far I've done coins, but I may get some of these bars too. If you're interested in gold, I'll put the link in the top of the description. It says it's Miles Franklin Precious Metals, and they told me that they can give you better pricing and explain to you any tax consequences when you call them of your state or different issues there. If you use the code DAI Gold, you can either email them at info@milesfranklin.com or call 952-929-7006. Love it. I bought some last week. I'm planning on buying more next week. Okay. Ripple discovered the 3 major challenges rising interest rates can pose for banks. Look, just in time. Looks like Ripple has solutions for rising interest rates. 3 biggest challenges. Let's see what they are. 1, shrinking customer portfolio. 2, constrained credit, reduced liquidity. Ooh, who solves that? 3, Limited investment in economic growth. Yes, bingo. Then Riz XRP found this awesome clip. Rand Neuter, it sounds like Rand Neuner, who has been a anti-Ripple, anti-XRP bad guy for years. Raoul Paul hasn't been so much of a bad guy, but he's very smart. Listen to the epiphany that they are having.
I want to ask you a question. Do you think that the great...
And remember, folks, everything they're describing, pat yourself on the back. XRP, none of this stuff, none of these wins are happening without the XRP community. All these, I laughed to myself watching all these people like Chamber of Digital Commerce and Grayscale's fighting, Coinbase is fighting. None of these people were fighting until the XRP community started fighting. They're followers, not leaders.
The decision was bigger than the Ripple SEC decision. When I said the ETF decision versus the tokens potentially not being securities, which one in your mind was more important for the future of crypto?
Probably the Ripple.
I agree, because we had a Spaces yesterday where we spoke about this, and people were saying, no, the ETF decision is bigger. I said, look, the ETF decision just means more money coming into the asset. The other one is a pivotal moment because it actually changes whether these things are securities or not securities, and that changes the entire future of how people build with these things, use these things.
Well, because an ETF, Bitcoin, as you say, this is just flow of money, right? What the XRP Ripple case is all about is really about the future of Web3.
Agreed.
Which is a much bigger concept than just cryptocurrencies. It's about the integration of blockchain technology into everything that we do in a whole bunch of different business models. And, that's not clear yet, where that's going to come out, but it's coming out in favor of Web3 being the future and not everything is a bloody security, which is ludicrous.
One thing I've noticed is when things are going to the courts, Web3 is winning. So Ripple, it went to the court, Web3 won. There was another monumental ruling this year. I actually may have it here. It is the Uniswap ruling. Now, a lot of people just, they browse this and say, it's a case, it's a fickle case against Uniswap, but it's actually not, because in this ruling, the judge actually acknowledged that DeFi is a decentralized protocol and you can't hold the developers liable for how people use the protocol. And they also acknowledge that DeFi is just a piece of code, which is, that is a massive ruling. The third big ruling we had was Grayscale versus the SEC, where Grayscale said, look, where the judge said, hold on a second, you can't treat the futures ETF different from the spot ETF, because essentially they both rely on the price of the spot asset. So I think that when things are going to the courts, we're getting some fantastic outcomes, and Web3 is actually winning.
Just what I think the SEC misunderstood here was how smart this space is. It is the smartest collection of people I've ever come across.
You got that right.
Because they are technologists, they're finance people, they're artists, they are this conglomeration.
They're rednecks from Georgia.
Of people with skill sets I have never seen in any industry before. Sure, there's smart people in AI, but they're kind of less commercial than this group of people, right? So you're going up against some of the smartest people in the world who are mission driven and who have thought about decentralized protocols. That's why it was invented, because the idea is we know that this is an answer that the courts can't deal with because it is code.
All right, and then this was kind of random, but I didn't know what I was looking at here. I don't know who this Alexa Mead is, but she tweets out this painting a bow tie on Stefan Thomas to match a painted dress on the red carpet for the Ferrari film premiere in Venice Film Festival. So you got Stefan Thomas from Ripple, who's on the red carpet with all these movie stars. And this guy didn't understand what I was getting at, and I said, how about now? Picture of him. I guess he didn't know that Stefan Thomas had been at Ripple. Check this out from Sentiment. XRP is seeing major utility spikes to start the month, in addition to today's milestone highs in on-chain transaction volume. 4.8 billion XRP and circulating 2.03 billion XRP. The development activity for fifth largest cap asset in crypto is up big as well. Then we got this. Bitru had tweeted this. Are you bullish? Are you more bullish on Bitcoin or XRP? Let's do an updated on that. Looks like 83% are more bullish on XRP. Smart people. Then we had this from James Phelan, breaking. Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson filed their opposition to the SEC's motion to certify interlocutory appeal. Right here, Brad Combs from Digital Perspective says, here's the money shot from the filing. Ripple's correcting the SEC. It says, the SEC states it does not seek appellate review of any holding relating to the fact that the underlying assets are nothing but computer code with no inherent value. The court made no such ruling. To the contrary, the undisputed evidence established XRP's inherent utility as a bridge currency to facilitate cross-border transactions. Instead, the court found that an XRP token is not in itself an investment contract because it does not in itself meet Howey requirements. So Ripple giving them the money shot. Ashley Prosper makes a very, very interesting observation. I recall Ripple saying that the SEC agreed that if the SEC agreed that XRP is not a security, there would be a settlement almost instantly. Well, the court has now declared that XRP itself is not a security, and the SEC itself conceded that XRP is not a security in its latest court filing. So what is preventing a settlement over the remaining issues? Very good question. Makes you wonder if Brad Garlinghouse, when he goes to Masari on September 20th, could have an announcement, or maybe at the proper party. I'm going to skip this. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I'm here because I believe what Ripple said. Thanks for listening.